Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces.
I mean, I like kind of brag on Michael Jordan here a little bit, and I think we were a similar ilk with the Jazz. Is I like where guys just tighten their belt up and say, you know what, let's go to work. We just got to get better. Yeah. We got to play harder. We got to play smarter instead of just, where's the grass greener? I'm going to go there and win a championship. Yep. I think it devalues that. You're not climbing the mountain. You're taking a helicopter to the top.
Totally agree.
So
I don't think so. I think the reason the pressure is amped up for LeBron James, this is the first time he's gone into the postseason with the best team in the league. This year, they're expected to win the championship, and that's the first time LeBron James can say that since he's been in an NBA uniform. Now he's got the supporting cast. There are no excuses. They were the best defensive team in the league this year. He has enough options offensively. They need to get it done this year. I think that's what he's feeling, more so than getting the MVP to validate anything.
It's a bitter disappointment, but they had a remarkable run.
You see the emotion from Durant pouring out.
We're sitting in the locker room after the game, and nothing was said. Everyone just sat there for a moment.
We had a chance to beat them. We just didn't respond. You know, we got to that hill. We almost looked over the hill. I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I cried on the bus. My father came on and said, look, it's just one game.
Get into their elite club to some degree was to win a championship. Everything else individually, I thought I was being considered on the same level. But what separated me from Larry Bird and Magic Johnson was, they had championships to back their individual accolades. So, I mean, that drove me more so than anything to get into that elite club with the championship.
Failure is inevitable in the NBA. Even the greatest, like Michael Jordan, experienced crushing defeats before they're reaching that mountaintop. What defines a legacy isn't just the rings, but the journey taken to earn them. That's why context matters. Now, John Stockton's recent comments may be labeled as hating, but they reflect the harsh truth about competition in the NBA. Now, running from challenges by already joining stacked teams or teaming up with all-stars doesn't really carry the same weight as overcoming adversity head-on. In sports, how you win often speaks louder than just winning itself. So don't take what John Stockton had to say as an attack, but rather a criticism of some of the modern NBA superstars and their journey to get their championships. Now, it might sound odd or foreign now, but there was once upon a time in the NBA where players actually took pride and dignity in the way they won and the way they lost. And the problem is, a lot of players don't have that. The context of winning, it matters. And the way you earn them has always held a certain amount of weight. When you look at that 2011 run with Dirk, him beating Kobe, sweeping him beating LeBron, and him beating KD, we look at that run as like, bro, that dude took no shortcuts. He failed before. He got freaking upsetted as the first seed when he won MVP. He had lows, then he had freaking high highs. And us as fans, us as spectators, watch that and be like, yo, Dirk is solidified. He's certified. He earned himself. So when I see older players taking shots at obviously maybe a LeBron or KD here, we don't know, but there's no address to it, but we can see it's going at one of the two players because those are the only players we know that kind of in the modern era playing right now and do the whole super team thing. The Boston Celtics was a super team, but they got traded. That was a front office move. It wasn't a player empowerment move. It was a front office move. But KD, LeBron, they're the face of this player empowerment cheap rings. And you can say what you want, but that's a cheap ring. There's a difference between KD's rings and Dirk Nowitzki's rings. And you can argue with your mama about that because we're not going to argue about that. I know the truth. But can you blame these players from the different eras for taking shots at people like LeBron and KD? After all the stuff they talk about on these podcasts, can you blame them? Like, can you really blame them? I've seen LeBron saying Giannis could average 70 points in the 70s. I see him saying that different eras. I see JJ Redick saying that they were playing against plumbers and electricians and stuff like that. Like, there's a respect factor here, right? We're losing respect for our past, and we're doing it all to big ourselves up instead of just doing it to, create at least an appreciation, you could say, or maybe just to pay homage to the past. Because at the end of the day, man, them players behind us actually created the league to be what it is today, to make it as big as it is, man. These are the pioneers of the league. And I feel like the problem I have is that there's a lot of disrespect amongst them, and just because the players of the past may be critical of you, it's all in the name of tough love. But I get how it's a two sides to a coin, where maybe someone would say, well, if they're criticizing me, I should be able to criticize them. But that's cool. You can criticize them. But when it comes to making points, who's making more valid points? You can't do nothing about the era you played in. You play in the era and you win. And it's just like when the LeBron bubble ring. I always say, as much as I don't think it was that hard of a ring, I respect it because he won, and that was the circumstances that he didn't create. He just entered and won. But in the same breath, when John Stockton says something like this, when I view it as, it's exactly what it is. He's looking like, you don't think I could have just said, hey, let me go play on the New York Knicks with Carmelo or something like that. Maybe we go somewhere else and we team up and we both become free agents and we go play with Charles Barkley and form a big three. He's like, no, we sat there and we like, yo, how are we going to sit there and beat the goddamn Bulls? And they couldn't do it. But to know that he didn't have that thought of leaving and quitting is the mentality part that is missing in today's league. It's like, yo, things are getting hard here. Dwayne Wade's knees is going out. I'm going to go over here. Oh, Russell Westbrook's a head case. He shoots too many shots, and we're losing the game. We blew a 3-1 lead. I'm going to go play with Steph, who's a better shooter. I'm going to go play with Clay, who's a better shooter. Do you get that point? Do you see how it cheats the grind? Do you see how many spectators can be thrown off? And do you see how it creates a problem with the league? Knowing this league is the way it is right now, the problem I have with this is that we're losing touch with fans when it comes to teams, man. There's no longer a lot of diehard teams like fans because we're becoming player fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. We've always been player fans, but the problem is in the past, the players stayed on one team. Now we're sitting there and we don't know where KD gonna play next. He on the Rockets, he on the Suns, he on the Nets, he on the Warriors, he on the Thunder. Where we gonna play next, man? Lakers, Cavs again, Heat. Like, there's a familiarity that comes with fans, and that's why football excels. That die-hard fan club, the Cowboy fans. They haven't won since I was born, but yet, guess what? They have die-hard fans that believe in the franchise. NBA fans don't believe in franchises no more, man. It's like it's becoming more players, and the people who are, big fans. Don't get me wrong, they're still out there. Celtics fans, I'm from Boston. A lot of Celtics fans, they still believe in the Celtics. There's certain franchises, but I'm saying with football, it hits home more. It's more of the teams, less about players. The NBA has created a great brand, but the problem is with this brand is starting to struggle. And I think part of the reason is the player empowerment. We're not seeing players play anymore. We're not knowing when they're going to skip games for load management. They're becoming spoiled, and they're not trying in the All-Star game. They want to do things off the court that overshadows kind of what they do on the court. They're more worried about their image and their brand more than they care and their love for the game. And this is creating a problem. So when I see older players talking about the league, they're being critical of it, they have the right to do that. They played in the league, and they built this league that we're watching right now. So I understand them. But what I don't like is the fact that players of now want to sit there and criticize people of the past for, the era they played in. It wasn't a three-point era. It wasn't an era where we're going to chuck threes. It wasn't an era we're going to play 5 out. It wasn't an era where we're dribbling the air out the ball. We're playing in a different league. We're playing through the low post. We're playing a pass-first point guard is actually touching the ball and then bringing the ball up the court, looking to initiate offense. And it's a different era. So we can't sit there and shit on it. Like Anthony Edwards saying, Michael Jordan was the only player with skills. Like, there was plenty of players with skills in the 90s. It's just that people don't do the homework. But the reason I'm saying this is because most of the players from back in the day, or maybe different generations, are not saying that the players now weren't skilled or not good at basketball. They're just questioning their heart. They're questioning how much they love the game. They're questioning the desire to win, the desire to go through tough times. And that is where I agree with them. I don't see that no more. I don't see All-Star game. I don't see trying in the All-Star game. I don't see that fire and fight that we once seen on the NBA basketball court. So that's just my opinion on this. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, damn. My microphone got a mind of its own. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, that's why the cord is over here. All right, guys, so that's my spiel for the day. Hope I didn't rant too long. I think I made some great points. If you agree with me, give me a comment. If you disagree with me, leave me a comment. Either way, my name is Tyler Rose. This is Tyler Rose TV. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Let's get into it. Hit that subscribe and hit the bell. Peace.